What is up, guys? I am Coming, and welcome to today's live video on YouTube. Guys, we have a very exciting war coming that will be starting tomorrow night. I just want to go ahead and start the video by advertising our war, Boston Tea Party versus Dark Looters Y. Dark Looters Y is a fantastic clan coming from a very famous clan family. If you guys don't know who Dark Looters are, they won the Invite League twice. The finals. So this clan, obviously, there's a piece of the pudding inside of this clan from that, and we're very looking forward to this match tomorrow. I will be streaming part of this war, the beginning. Within the first 1 or 2 hours, I will go live, and then I'll be streaming the very end on Saturday. So you guys are awesome. I appreciate the love and support for the clan, and I would appreciate it if you showed up for this matchup. It's going to be a lot of fun. Anyways, let's go ahead and get to the war that we're recapping today. If we go to the clan here, we go to the war log. The war that we had yesterday was versus I Like CW Daily. I'm not sure what the name really is supposed to be, like pointing to, but anyways, they are a clan from the Netherlands, and they had some fantastic Town Hall 10 action inside this war, and really hats off. So I guess we could take a brief moment to talk about the breakdown, because people likely, if you're watching the video, you're going to be like, oh man, you have the advantage, blah blah blah. I don't think it's as clear as that. If you see, we have 2 Town Hall 12s, they have 1. Okay, so obviously that's definitely a form of an advantage when you have 2 Town Hall 12s. They have 1 Town Hall 12. It's a lot harder to attack into those bases. You're basically depending on one guy to triple both of those bases if it were to come down to, the rest of the map clearing. That didn't happen, but if we actually were to look down at how many Town Hall 10s each side had, this is where I won't bother to really look at every single base. If you guys are familiar with the tier system in League play, tiers are basically, tier 1 means that you're essentially a Town Hall 9 that has Inferno Towers added. And we had 8 tier 1s and they had 2, according to our leaders. So in terms of what that means, it means that they had 6 max 10s over us. And our tier 1s got cleared very quickly. Tier 1s are not very strong. They're pretty easy to negotiate, especially if you have like a fully maxed offense, which pretty much all of them did. They all had the 40/40 hero sets, just like we did. But attacking into 6 more max 10s put us at a slight disadvantage there. So I'd say relatively the matchup was balanced. We did struggle at TH10 for that reason. But a win's a win, we walked away with the W. So what we're going to do today is actually talk about the Town Hall 10 attacks. 3 of them we'll talk about how they were performed, why they were effective, and we'll start with the first one. So the first hit we have is Bambam versus number 11 here, El Furbo. So he's bringing miners. Now we'll pause the attack and talk very briefly. I don't want to belabor you guys with just too much, but open base styles I think can be very vulnerable to miner attacks. If you see, he's got a lot of trash that's sitting on the outside that you can exploit with funneling troops, and this helps miners stay focused. Also, the way this is laid out, his town hall is all the way in one corner, and he's got a line that's drawing you through both Inferno Towers. So he's going to be using his wrecker basically at 3 o'clock to attack this corner, take 2 splash towers, a bow, and an Inferno out. Also, we noticed, I guess, and this will ring true for I think all 3 attacks that we showed today. At Town Hall 10, they were taking a lot of Hound, Wizard Archer, or Hound Loon. And against miners, this is really ineffective because a lot of times with miners, you're not putting your queen in with the kill squad. You're trying to put her, basically to help funnel the miners. And that's exactly what Bambam does here. He drops his king and his queen at the top right side to basically funnel from 3 to 12. And then down here, you can see he's already placed archers. So let's go ahead and play the attack. Let it play out a little bit. We'll talk a little bit more. Another thing to consider about open base styles is oftentimes there's not a lot of space inside the base that the defender is sort of making you guess about giant bombs. So what you can assume is on the outside of the base, there's going to be external giant bombs, and miners end up faring relatively well against external giant bombs. So As you can see, king is down to tank for the wrecker. He wants to make sure he gets at least one wall open before the wrecker is targeted by that single. He drops the freeze shortly, right as it heats up, freezes the loon and the inferno and one of the wizard towers. Now, why did he choose to freeze the loon and not these 3 defenses? He could have hit the 3 defenses, he could have hit the loon. He wanted to freeze the loon because he wanted to get the poison down. He wanted the loon to stay in place. So when the wrecker comes up to this inferno, the loon is going to sit inside the poison. And that's exactly what happens. The wall wrecker comes up, the loon is in the poison the entire time, and it's going to actually plow all the way through the inferno tower. The Valks jump out, but in the meantime, the miners are already in the base. And as soon as that loon falls, the miners, I mean, there's nothing else to harm the miners. Unfortunately for him, I don't think he wanted this to happen. The queen does end up targeting that lava hound, but she's going to be chasing pups and cleaning up as it may. And anyways, through the core they go. 2 bomb towers go off, but there's a ton of miners. And the funneling that he got done on this corner has really helped to drive the miners into the base long enough to take care of most of the really threatening point defense. As you can see, he's still got 2 Valks up from that wrecker. The Valks actually went through the wall and have taken this open layout, this path, to further tank for the queen. Now, I don't think that the attacker, Bambam, knew that his queen was going to live this long with the ability intact, but he ends up crushing it. And Bambam, you know, hats off, dude. Very nice hit. I'm personally experimenting more and more with miners because for a long time they were super strong, and then all of a sudden they got nerfed and they're super weak, and now people seem to be finding a proper use for them again. So let's go ahead and move to the next one. Oh yeah, one more thing about miners. One of the other strengths of miners is that they don't have preference to target, and they will attack a defending queen. So he could not have done the same attack and used hogs because the queen would have eventually seen the hogs and gunned down every single one of them. Next up, let's go and look at number 16. This will be JFM with a Sui Lalo. So right here, we have JFM. He is going to be bringing a blimp, and he has 3 hounds. Or actually 2 hounds. I believe his blimp is actually full of max loons. So the heroes will be suicided for this side, and he's going to be taking 2 archer towers and air defense and this hidden Tesla right here on this corner. And this is plenty of value. He's basically trying to shape the base. He doesn't really have to get super deep to shape this base, and you're going to see why that is. Now, you would say, okay, well, if he doesn't get the bomb tower or the inferno tower, it's still kind of a wide path, but he does a really smart thing at the very beginning of this by burning a lot of extra loons in order to basically hit that pathing out. So he drops the loons in, he's going to get the first hound in front, and the queen does complete the archer tower, and then look at this little thin strip of stuff. He's going to get that haste down. The loons here are supposed to go in and take out the inferno, and if they can do that, this is the end of their mission. They have accomplished their goal. The pathing is set. They even move on to the Expo, and from the top, he's moving a Lalo nice and quickly through haste spells, through rage spells, and at this bottom side, I'm going to pause it right here because this is very important to know. This queen and this king have not been dealt with. In Sui Lalos, you're typically going to be taking out the defending queen in particular with a skeleton spell and a rage spell. Things you have to consider very strongly when you do this are surrounding splash damage. So around the queen right here, he's got 3 wizard towers that are meant to protect her from the very thing that he's about to do. So he has to move very quickly with loons. He has to get distraction from those loons, or with those loons, so these wizard towers do not nuke every single skelly, because splash damage destroys a skeleton kill onto a queen. So it sees the skellies initially, but then they immediately move over to this, and that rage is perfectly placed, so they get that death drop onto the wizard tower, and then there's nothing else around it to stop it. He's got a rage nicely tucked inside on the king and the queen. The queen dies very fast, and the king will also go down to the skellies as well. So the Lalo from the very top side, it's taking a little bit longer to come by, but he's going to have just enough loons, guys. He's still got 1 loon. He's still got a haste. He has to ride this because he knows that if he hastes into that AD, he's going to have a problem negotiating this corner right here. So you'll see the placement on this haste spell basically to move these loons into the final archer tower on this ring. I'm going to go ahead and push 2x. 1 little loon ahead of it, trying to catch possibly a red bomb that would have splashed all of the pack. So that was another heads up play, something you may not have noticed or have understood about it. But anyways, plenty of minions and pups. He's going to have enough time. The ring is clean, and the final target is going to be the Town Hall. Now, some people might argue that you probably should have put like 1 minion onto that Town Hall just to guarantee it. But the way that the pathing was, the way that the trash ring was, he knew that as long as he cleaned all of that, it didn't matter if that was going to be the last target. He just needed to end there, and that's exactly what happened. So good job to JFM. Good job, buddy. Yes. All right. So next we got Bobby with the Blimp Hog. Okay, so this is a variation on an attack that he's using a lot. We're gonna go and talk about the hit before he does it. Typically, Bobby loves running the Mass Hog at TH10, like using a Suicide Wrecker with the King and the Queen, or even with King, Sans Queen, if he knows that there's a Hound in the CC. And I think we kind of assumed on this base that there was a Hound in the CC, because they're pretty much on all of the attacks we were finding Hound plus a Loon, Hound plus a Wizard, something like that. And that's exactly what happens here. We know that he's got to have this Hound Loon inside the CC. So if you look at where the Town Hall is, it's all the way up at like 10 o'clock here. And if you look down here, there's a straight line that you can draw across an Inferno Tower, a Splash Tower, a Bomb Tower, and a Queen. So he's going to get a nice blimp, basically, to suicide in there with the help of a Rage and a Poison and help to deal with the defending Queen. He actually does get through this wall and take out the Bomb Tower. And then after that, pathing for Hogs is perfectly set. If the Bomb Tower didn't go down, he might get a split. So it's actually really, really important that he does get this Bomb Tower. So anyways, the Blimp comes across, trips 2 Teslas nice and early. He's going to get that Rage down. The Valks jump out, will murder the Queen. Sabap. They're going to hit that. He's going to poison up just to slow down that Wizard just enough. He's going to make it through the wall, one-shot that, and that is the end of his clan castle, guys. But it's perfect. It's exactly what he wants. So now that he's starting his Hogs, you're asking, okay, where's he going to put his heroes? His Queen is going to be put at 3 o'clock to shave off a Splash Tower and Archer Tower and get some value there. Also, he's got 10 more Hog Riders. He'll be supporting the main group. Now, I do think he might have mistimed some of these Hogs on this top side. You know, maybe he should have held those a little bit longer to wait for the main pack, just so they'd be, you know, truly firing in all directions, abusing the fact of just like cadence of the attack. I'm not sure exactly how to say it, but the King also was dropped here with the intention of sniping the defending King. He doesn't do that because the Hogs were actually in the base right there. Those early Hogs that he put down, but he's going to have just enough. And this is why this attack is very, very dominant. You have so many Hog Riders. If you can really light up all those Hogs with value placement heals, you're able to just overwhelm the point defense, even through Giant Bombs, even through Skellies. As you can see, he doesn't have another poison spell to put down to poison out the final Skellies, but he had too many Hogs up. It's going to be a triple. So yeah, like I said at the very beginning, Bobby is running this attack strategy quite a bit, and this was one of the more, I guess this is the lesser, the less frequent option to run the Blimp, but it was definitely the perfect one because he found everything. These 2 Teslas, finding those at the very beginning was like so good. Because then that told him that, okay, well, he's only got 2 more, and as long as I can find those, the pathing on this base is ridiculously easy once I've got this entire compartment out and this compartment as well. So anyways, I will go ahead and say thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it very much. You guys are great. We are going to be coming back for a war tomorrow versus Dark Looters Y. Stay tuned on my Discord server for that, and I'll see you guys later next time. Peace out.